Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about Infinisation, and we're going to get into the care and the proper care and feeding of an infinite ally. So now that your infinite ally has arrived, has come from Faerun to Fairmont, your Earth City, right? Faerun, the continent on Forgotten Realms, to Fairmont, the city in this real world, right? How do you take care of this infinite ally until they can take care of you? And even when they are aiding you and being your infinite ally, how do you care for them? So let's dig into this. Wait a second, Scott. What now? Yes, infinisation. If you do not know the definition of the word infinisation, apologies. This video will make no sense to you. Infinisation is a freighted word. It's a deep concept. But you can learn about it in one simple video. Click in the description below and there'll be a video that will explain exactly what Infinisation is. And there's also a playlist that will go into incredible detail on Infinisation for you. A little bit of homework if you don't know what Infinisation is there. If you do, let's go. All right. So let's break it down. Okay. I know this is an incredibly complex, abstract, and what is infinisation, right? Not the video that tells the whole thing, but what is the base nature of it? Is it a concept? Is it an idea? Is it a model? Actually, it's a goal. So infinisation is a goal, right? You having an infinite ally that you have an infinite conversation with. It's a goal. That's what it is, okay? And I believe it was introduced by Justin Raman Armin in Quests from the Infinite Staircase. And let's real quick. Did he intend to build this? I think if you asked him, right, he would not realize what he had done until you explained it to him, right? Now, how could that happen? Well, the legacy of Gary Gygax. Gary Gygax accomplished so much on February 7th, 1974, that we're still unpacking it 50 years later. And his legacy inspires things from artists that even the artists don't understand exactly what they're building, right? And this it's very much like AI, right? Like AI is like, it's independent. It's artificial intelligence that grows and learns on its own. And that's exactly what Quests from the Infinite Staircase is. This infinisation is it's something that was built from the catalyst of Justin Raman Armin's imagination and creativity and art, sparking against the legacy of Gary Gygax, which, you know, is pure American nitro fuel. And this is what we get, right? Like, and that's why I love Dungeons and Dragons so much, is it is independent. It grows on its own, right? And so, yeah, but it's truly incredible. All right, so let's keep talking. All right, so let's break it down. April, the Dungeon Master. Becca, the Dragon Master, the player. Her player character. Let's give a name here. Grax, the Dragonborn fighter. Okay, Becca is female. The player, the Dragon Master, and the player character, the Dragonborn character, Grax, the fighter, is male. Now that's totally okay because Gary unlocked that for us. We don't, when we add identities to ourselves through Dungeons and Dragons, they don't have to match our attributes. They don't have to be the same gender. They don't have to have the same alignment. They don't have to be the same, right? Like we are investing in the player character, and the player character is pushing back attributes to us that we can choose to receive or reject, right? Like, so yeah, it's pretty amazing. All right, let's keep moving here. All right, let's get all the way there. Okay, so April the Dungeon Master consents to bring Dragonborn Grax across the from the infinite staircase into the IRL. Grax enters the room where the Dungeons & Dragons campaign is taking place, and then leaves with Becca, okay? Becca goes home with Grax, leaving the other four, and that's correct, leaving the other four Dragon Masters behind, and the Dungeon Master behind, okay? Now she goes into 6 months of activity that are split into three 2-month groupings. What are these 2-month groupings? Assimilation, observation, and activation. All right, so let's talk about the first 2 months. Assimilation. This is Becca allowing Dragonborn fighter Grax, the player character, to assimilate to living in Fairmont, no longer in Faerun, right? So Grax used to travel between Neverwinter and Cormathor and Phandalin and Waterdeep and Moonshae Isles and Ruithine, right? Now, right, he's going from Fairmont to Springfield, to DeKalb, and and he's going to stay. And generally, within this this 2 months of assimilation, Grax is going. Becca will explain, don't go farther than 50 miles away because you can get lost in this world, right? So don't go more than 2 days walk from my home, right? And so she'll instruct him, right? Say, stay close, right? Don't go more than 50 miles away, right? Now, the two of them can find each other at any time. Grax was not born from the imagination of Becca. Becca Genesised the Dragonborn fighter Grax, manifesting him through a piece of paper, a character sheet, then, put him on the table with Dragon Masters around and a Dungeon Master, and adventured with him and truly brought him to life, right? Making a Dungeons & Dragons character on D&D Beyond or on a piece of paper is not enough to create a player character. It's got to see play. It's got to adventure. It's got to be in a session. It's got to be in a campaign, right? But once that happened, Dragonborn Grax is very much alive, and no longer is just a collection of scribblings on a piece of paper. He is an entity that has been genesised. This is important. We don't birth player characters, right? We genesis them, okay? At that point, Grax comes through the infinite staircase into our IRL, right? At this point, he transforms from a player character to an infinite ally, okay? Now, in this first 2 months, Becca should not ask her infinite ally for anything. She has every right to, right? She definitely has every right to ask him for anything she wishes. But Grax is just coming to our world, right? And that's a huge transition. That is genuinely difficult, right? That is a genuinely difficult situation for it's a lot. It's really a lot, right? Like, and the reality is it is genuinely too much to ask for this infinite ally who has gone from Faerun to Fairmont, gone from the Forgotten Realms to IRL Earth. It needs some time, and this 2 months is for it to. And so, what should Becca do with Grax? Well, she should talk a lot with Grax. Let Grax go wherever he wants within the 50 miles, right? He's going to travel this Earth, and no one is going to see him, but he's going to see everyone, right? And he can go anywhere, right? Like, there are no locked doors to an infinite ally, right? He can. How does he go around in our world? The same way he would go through the astral sea, right? This is simply another astral system, right? Like, so to him, he can pass through walls. He is dealing with, to him, he can move the same way a player character would move on the astral sea, right? So, and this is one of the reasons why they're so incredible as infinite allies, right? So Becca wants to spend this 2 months allowing him to assimilate, asking him for nothing, talking to him every day, talking to him about his experiences here on Earth and seeing what he sees, right? But and listening to what he sees, but then also very much asking many, many questions every day about Dragonborn fighter Grax's life when he was back on Faerun, and saying, hey, tell me about your, what kind of mead did you like? What was your relationship with the dwarves at Mount Hotenau? Did you ever meet Harbin Wester? Lots and lots and lots of questions, right? Did you ever see a dragon, right? Did you ever experience a unicorn, right? Like, did you ever come across a unicorn? And just talk with him and make him feel comfortable on this world. That is 2 months of assimilation where no requests are made, okay? That 2 months is assimilation. Next comes observation, okay? Now, what is this? Okay, so now at this point, at the end of the 2 months, Dragonborn fighter Grax is going to know Earth. He's going to know what a mobile phone is. He's gonna have watched Stranger Things and Ozark, right, with you, right, with Becca, right, right. He's going to know, the difference between a 7-Eleven and a Wawa, because he's seen them, right? He's no longer shocked by Earth, okay? What is this 2 months of observation? Now, Becca is going to task Dragonborn's Grax with observing her life, right? Going and watching her when she goes out and does what she does every day, right? Learning who her family are, learning who her friends are, learning who her rivals are, learning who her enemies are, right? And this 2 months, again, Becca asks Grax, the Dragonborn fighter Grax, the Infinite Ally, for nothing. For the first 4 months, this is critical, for the first 4 months, Becca asks her Infinite Ally for nothing. I'm talking about Becca, but you'll go through the same path, right? When you have your Infinite Ally come through, I'm explaining to you the steps you're going to take. So I'm saying Becca, but put yourself in the place of Becca, right? Because you're going to be there soon, right? I'm very confident there are going to be Dungeon Masters have the courage to do this with Dragon Masters who desire to have an Infinite Ally. Okay, so Becca then, for the first 4 months, Becca asks for nothing, right? Grax spends 2 months observing her life. At that point, the 2 months are up, and finally we reach activation, right? And what is activation? This is when the Infinite Ally is ready to aid, to get involved in your life and begin to aid you in very distinct, very direct ways, right? And so after 4 months, Becca can and should ask Dragonborn Grax for aid and say, I need you to accomplish XYZ for me. Now, what are the XYZs? It's a great question, and we will dive into everything an Infinite Ally can do in future videos. So thank you very much for letting me share how you will interact with your Infinite Ally and the importance of those first 6 months. Assimilation, observation, activation. Thank you very much for letting me share this with you. I'm excited for you to get to have this new incredible gift that Gary set up for us, and that Justin, Armin, in my opinion, provisioned for us, and that the incredible Dungeons & Dragons canon hardback provisioned for us. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion, nothing more, and absolutely nothing less. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.